What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about 2023's The Flash from director Andy Muschietti, starring Ezra Miller. And I won't go too long-winded on this. If you want to see what my initial thoughts on this movie were back in 2023, that I believe was my first movie review I've ever did, because I went to the theater, saw this, and was like, I think I need to make a video and talk about this. And from there on, from 2023 to now, I believe this has been a full year of movie reviews. So if you've watched all of them, shout out to you. I doubt it. If anyone has watched all of the movie reviews or watched all of the movies that I have watched, that would be outstanding. Good for you. But The Flash, this is now my third time seeing it. I saw it once in theaters, and then I saw it once when it came out on, Max last year. So I watched it once in theaters, once on streaming, and then I watched it again last night a couple nights ago on Netflix. And the movie has gone from a 3.5 to a 3 to a 2-star. So overall, I gave this movie 2 out of 5 stars. Just each time I've watched it, I've hated Ezra Miller more and more. But this movie does have some cool things in it. Sasha Calle, Sasha Calle, gorgeous Supergirl. And she is, doesn't really get all that much talking or character moments. I still think she looks pretty great in the role. I'm still going to be interested to see Millie Alcock Supergirl. So, Sasha Calle never gets to do it again. Oh well. I hope they get a new Flash as well. They don't stick with Ezra Miller. But then, for this to be one of the last, movies for the DCEU, it just makes so little amounts of sense. Because Barry fucks up the universe, and by changing one little thing, changes the universe. And, the whole movie, he changes something, the whole universe gets messed up. And he gets a Michael Keaton's Batman, that the Gotham is safe, and he isn't really Batman, he's old. But just to see Michael Keaton back in the Batsuit and with the Batcave and some of the action he gets to do in the Batsuit, phenomenal stuff. Michael Keaton is not the reason this movie's a bad movie. It's mostly Ezra Miller, and the fact that there's 2 Ezra Millers is even worse. You're like, oh, God. But, spoilers for a movie that's over a year old. If you haven't seen it and you're watching this video, you probably aren't going to see it. But, there's the end of the movie, and then there's a post-credit scene. The end of the movie, a tooth falls out of his head, and George Clooney walks up, doesn't make any sense. So now, the only real cool part about this multiverse movie is that he starts with Ben Affleck's Batman in the beginning of this. You get to see Gal Gadot, so he does get 4 of the members of the Justice League in this movie, for real. Which, is kind of impressive that, they're not huge characters, but they still get little character moments. And it does feel like a DC movie, so it's not bad in that sense. And if you can shut off your brain and watch this, it's probably not that bad. But for me, I just can't get over how bad Ezra Miller is, and the fact that this got put out and they canceled something like Batgirl. The Batgirl movie seems much more interesting to me than this, they could have canceled this and Ezra Miller and gotten the tax write-off from this and then released Batgirl. No, I don't know how it all works, but it makes a lot more sense in my mind than releasing this. And then now they're talking about Andy Muschietti getting another movie, like a Batman the Brave and the Bold. Thank God we got Matt Reeves' Batman, because Batman Part 1 and The Batman Part 2 are going to be far better than this movie ever could be. But just the fact that George Clooney shows up, it's like, even George Clooney never wanted to play Batman again, and you have him walk up like he's Bruce Wayne at the end. And then in the post-credit scene, you get Aquaman in there, and that's hilarious, because it's Jason Momoa just acting shit-faced and falling face first in a puddle. And then he's like, I'm home, I'm water, it's Aqua. And he's like, that's a muddy puddle on the side of the... Alright, goodbye. Takes his ring and walks away, if that's the last we ever see of those characters, haha. But I don't know. There's probably some fans out there that are really disrespected and really hurt because they love these characters so much. There's people, I'm more of a Marvel guy myself, because Marvel has just so much more characters to offer that, well, in the live action. I'm sure the DC comics goes for days. But So does Marvel, but at the same point, you know, when I was a kid, I loved Batman because of Christopher Nolan's trilogy. You know, and in that trilogy, there's not a whole lot of characters. It's just, what, Batman, Scarecrow, Bane, Joker. It's really not all that much in all actuality. Compared to some of the animated shows or some of the comic books, you know, there's a deep well of characters that you can, you know, not have big roles, but just be around, and it makes it feel like the universe is ginormous, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping the Penguin brings in some of that stuff, maybe brings in a Mr. Freeze, maybe brings in the Joker, the Riddler back from Arkham, maybe brings in a Killer Croc, a Clayface, you know, like, it expands the villains universe a little bit. We know we're going to get a Salvatore Maroni, but I don't know, man. I'm super interested in what DC is going to be with James Gunn's DC and with the Robert Pattinson Batman, you know, just see where that goes. I'm into it, you know, but The Flash, not so much. Comment below your thoughts on The Flash. About a 2 out of 5 stars. Not so great. But this is a re-review, so dropping my score down to 2 out of 5 stars. And that might even be too much. But those 2 stars go to Michael Keaton's Batman. And just the Ben Affleck Batman. The beginning of this, that was kind of funny. But he gets, like, the suit, the proper suit for Ben Affleck. So just to one more time get these guys into a suit. It felt like a proper send-off for those guys, but not necessarily the Flash. But it's still just astonishing that a Flash movie got made at all. You know what I mean? But comment below if you've made it this far in the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss future movie reviews. Comically Boston's coming out on Mondays. Breakdowns coming out for the Penguin and Agatha All Along very soon. So stay tuned for that, y'all. And I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.